On this episode of DIY Explore, we are going to make a raised bed garden for your backyard.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Thanks for watching. So when springtime hits, a lot of people are thinking about outdoor time and gardening and that, and same thing at our house. So what I'm going to build today, or what we're going to build today, is about a 1 foot tall by 3 by 5 foot garden, raised bed. Could be for flowers, could be for food. Keep watching. Tools you're going to need for this build are as following: measuring device of some type, a framing square or L square, pop rivet gun, manual is fine, cheap is fine, tin snips, or what I'm going to use is an angle grinder with a cutting blade on it. You're going to need some bits for all your screw types, some drill bits. Universal is probably, like a whole bunch is probably the best to have. A power drill, corded or cordless. And then, of course, something to cut your wood with, which is, I'm using a circular saw and a jig. You can use a handsaw or a jigsaw. And then, of course, clamps. Next is the supplies you need.
Cedar wood needed, 1 inch by 3 inches by 8 feet, quantity 5. 1 inch by 2 inches by 8 feet, quantity 2. 1 inch by 5.5 by 6 feet dog-eared fence picket, quantity 4. 8 feet corrugated galvanized steel 31 gauge roof panel.
Additional supplies you will need for this build are as following: 1 inch wood screws or universal screws, 1 1/4 inch universal screws, exterior for the screws if possible, 1/2 inch sheet metal screws or metal screws, and 1/8 inch pop rivets, clear coat, and of course wood glue. And don't forget, why this isn't a supply, you need some gloves, leather, because we are working with metal and that will cut you.
Take a 3-inch wide cedar board and measure 5 feet, and cut all 4 boards, and when you're done you should have 4 5-foot and 4 3-foot boards. Using one of your 2-inch wide boards, measure 12 inches and cut. The board will give you 8 pieces and you'll be using those to make the corner posts. We're now going to cut the outside corner elements. Using the final 3-inch wide board, measure 7 inches and cut 4 parts. Take the 2-inch wide board, measure 7 inches, and cut 4 pieces at that length. At this point, these are the cuts you should have completed. The reason for this step is to cut down on the types of pre-cut wood needed. Lay out the pieces and apply the glue liberally and smooth out. Spreading out the glue will help with adhesion. Using a straight edge, check to make sure all pieces are even. This is important later in the build. Clamp together and tighten. Try not to let the pieces slip out of alignment during this step. Adding another clamp on the opposite side will help form an even, tight bond. I like to clean with, so I took a knife to remove the excess glue. This is optional if it doesn't bother you. Since these are the corners, I added one screw to each side for extra hold. Repeat this step for each corner post. The height of our raised bed is 12 inches, and the overlap of boards is 5 inches. We only need 10-inch wide cuts of our corrugated steel. The first cut is the most important. It will throw off the rest of your segments if it's not straight. I measure both sides and use a straight edge for the cut line. Measure twice, cut once. Make sure you are using protective equipment when cutting steel. Leather gloves and safety glasses are a must. You will get 9 segments out of this 8-foot piece of corrugated steel. Along a straight edge, lay out the pieces next to each other with an overlap of 1 ripple. Drill a 1/8 inch hole at the top. Then as an option, you can apply sealant. Rivet the pieces together. This will be our pivot in case we need to adjust it for straightness. When the pieces are lined straight, drill a 1/8 inch hole at the bottom. Rivet and finish up the center in the same manner. Roll out your newly combined metal strip and make sure the outside is facing up. Clean with metal spirits and apply a clear coat and then dry. Lay out your sideboards and use a 7-inch thick corner cuts as a guide for width. I used the 2-inch wide pieces for the box long sizes in my design. Then clamp both ends. Lay out the corrugated steel with the clear coated side facing down on the panel approximately 3/4 of an inch from the end. Use the corner cut as a guide to double check placement. Attach the end of the steel with 1/2-inch metal screws. I highly recommend getting self-tapping universal screws. They work amazingly well. Count 2 ripples and add 2 more screws. Continue this to the end of the panel. Moving to the other end. Measure 3/4 of an inch from the end, mark, and cut with tin snips or an angle grinder. The corner posts are going to be attached to the shorter panels. Take the corner post and place it 3/4 of an inch from the edge of the panel. Use the corner piece to check the placement. When everything is in place, clamp together and flip over. Then using 1 1/4 inch screws, secure the post to the panel, including the side piece. Assembling the sides is relatively straightforward. You can assemble in its final location or where you are working. Connect each side with two 1 1/4 inch screws on each board and attach the corner piece. Repeat for all corners. Home stretch. Take two Picket panels and measure 65.5 inch length. The other two measure 39 5/8 inch length. Cut at 45-degree angles inward from the widest point. When you're done, you should have 4 cuts that look like this. Lay out the Picket boards on top of the bed. They should sit about 2 inches from the edge of the side panels. For us beginners, it's okay if it's not exact. Screw the boards into the corner poles, and you can use longer screws if you need them to hold better. Take scraps from our Picket panels. We will notch out a 1.5 inch block from the corner. We're going to make 4 of these. Apply wood glue liberally. Place it on the underside of the corner and secure with 1 inch wood screws. Repeat this for each corner.
That one was really wet.
Oh, that smells.
Yep. Kitties will be having fun in here tonight.
They may stay away from it because it smells like manure. I don't know. So here it is, our 3x5 foot, 12 inches deep cedar planters with galvanized interior. Total time to make these was about 3-4 hours. Longest part of it was really cutting the wood and the galvanized steel. The wood and all the materials cost around about $100 at the prices of lumber right now. Actually looks really kind of elegant. If the corrugated steel top really kind of shines and stands out. Overall, this cedar is going to last for a very long time. It's going to look good. You can choose to paint it if you want. We're just going to leave it all natural because it kind of looks really cool as is. So if you like what we did, hit the like button on the video, subscribe. We put out videos about once a month so that we don't inundate you with tons of stuff. And thanks for watching. See you next time.